You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
We are now less than an hour away from polls closing here in Florida. It won't be long after that until we start seeing those first election results come in.
Americans voting to decide who controls Congress in several key state races, including here in Florida. We're already seeing record-setting voter turnout across the nation. ABC's Janae Norman joins us now live from Capitol Hill with what's at stake on this election day. Janae?
This is where we will really see the results of how today's elections impact the country. As Americans are heading to the polls and getting these I voted stickers, they are deciding who holds the power, Democrats or Republicans, and whether we'll see an overhaul here in Washington or if they prefer the status quo. Across the country, Americans waiting in long lines to cast their votes, helping decide what comes next for Congress and the future for several state houses, including this 104-year-old woman in Washington, D.C., who was alive when women didn't have the right to vote, and others who want to have their voices heard.
I think that we need to come out and vote so we can move forward.
According to our latest ABC News Washington Post poll, voters give Democrats an 8-point advantage over Republicans in taking control of the House. Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says she is 100% sure that will happen.
We are not going after the Republicans the way they went after us, but the Democrats will have an open, transparent Congress that will strive for bipartisanship.
And in the Senate, the country is watching a handful of key states like Missouri, which President Trump won by 20 points in 2016, leaving Democrats like Claire McCaskill in an uphill battle for her Senate seat.
A whole lot of people wrote us off 18 months ago, and obviously this race is just way too close to call.
And in Tennessee,
I'm going to be the next senator. We feel good about where we are.
Where there's a tight Senate race, voters telling ABC News that they know their votes are as much about who is on the ballot as who isn't.
Well, because I think, for one thing, it shows that they're kind of like voting for Trump.
I can't stand his views on women's rights. I don't trust the man. I don't like him. I vote for character. I think he has none.
And like the rest of the country, President Trump will be closely watching results as they start to come in just a few hours. The White House says he and the First Lady invited family and friends over to watch election returns. Reporting live from Capitol Hill, Janae Norman, ABC News. Back to you.
Janae, thank you. We also have team coverage of Election Day here on the Suncoast.
And as voters across the Suncoast were heading to the polls today, some encountered long lines. Others were turned away first thing this morning. ABC7's Rebecca Fernandez is live in Osprey with what happened. Rebecca?
Scott, Jacqueline, well, voters who came out to the polls here at the Church of the Holy Spirit were turned away and told that they'd have to wait until later to cast their vote.
It was a big misprint, and we had to wait for ballots.
This is Precinct 501, which straddles congressional districts 16 and 17. According to the supervisor of elections, the problem this morning was that there were no ballots for District 17.
I was angry because I didn't know if I could go back or not, because this is a very important election and I didn't know if I'd have time today to go back and vote again. Fortunately, I was able to rearrange my schedule so I can go back, but a lot of people wouldn't be able to go back.
It took officials about 2 hours after the polls opened to have all of them at this polling location.
Certainly apologize to any voters that were impacted with that, but as soon as we found out about it, we got ballots out there. And in fact, we have a ballot printer out there like we use in early voting where we do ballot on demand print right there. We sent a ballot printer out there to print those ballots for them right at that precinct.
Voters who were turned away were told they had the option of coming back to the precinct before it closed at 7 p.m., or they could go to one of the Sarasota County election offices and vote there.
And hopefully those people will make the effort. People of all political parties, this is your chance. You know, we want everybody's voice to be heard in this important election.
If you came to Precinct 501 this morning and were unable to vote, you still do have some time. You can come back here and vote before 7 o'clock or visit one of Sarasota County election offices in Sarasota, Venice, or Northport as well before 7 p.m. tonight. Live in Osprey, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. We'll take you live to the polls in a few minutes where ABC7's Rick Adams is continuing to monitor that situation for us.
But first, let's check on weather on this election night with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
That's right, less than an hour before it's all said and done there. We are looking at the beautiful weather, gorgeous sunset tonight to wrap things up on this election day. You can see the high cirrus clouds around. We even had a sundog, and you can see the sun has set and the clouds now starting to be not as bright as a result of the light and not shining on them anymore, because they are mid to upper levels, and so when they're up that high at 30,000 feet, the sun's still shining on those. Now, temperatures currently are starting to cool down after a pretty warm day today. It was muggy too. It's 77 degrees now in Sarasota. Still warm in Orlando. They got up into the upper 80s there today. Temperatures still in the low 80s in places like Northport, also Mayaca City, and into Arcadia, and a little bit cooler with that west coast sea breeze developing, with the water temperature into the upper 70s, keeping things a bit cooler right there near the coast. It's 77 degrees right now. The dew point temperature remains high, and with the clear skies and rather light winds, there's a chance for some patchy fog forming overnight, but that'll be about the only downside to our weather. We'll talk more about a couple of cold fronts that are expected to move through. Details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, Bob, thank you. A follow-up now on a bike accident in Venice that left 4 people in the hospital last week. We're now getting reports that one of those bicyclists is dead. The remaining 2 are hospitalized in stable condition, and the other was discharged earlier this week. That accident happened at the intersection of Center Road and Rockley Boulevard in Venice last Tuesday. Tomorrow, people who live in that community hope to appeal to commissioners at a city commission meeting. They hope to reduce the legal speed limit in that area from 45 to 35 miles per hour, and hopes that it will help prevent accidents like this happening in the future.
A Sarasota man is charged with false imprisonment after deputies say he forced a woman to leave a grocery store. 22-year-old Eduardo Moreno is also charged with domestic battery. Deputies say Moreno and the 20-year-old victim were shopping Sunday night at a Publix on Fruitville Road when the two had an argument. Surveillance video from the store shows the pair walk out the door before a struggle outside. Moments later, the victim tries to go back inside and yells for help. Witnesses got a description of the car and called for help. Moreno was arrested the next day in Manatee County.
Some Glen Allen Elementary School students were offered counseling at school after a fight between 2 adults at their bus stop this morning. Northport police say it all happened in the area of Arrow Avenue and Eager Street. Police say 2 women started fighting, and a broken coffee mug was used as a weapon. Both women were injured and taken to local hospitals. Police say dozens of children at the bus stop witnessed that fight. Afterwards, some received counseling at school, and charges for those women are pending.
Sarasota County Sheriff's Office will host its first open house next month. Everyone is invited to the department's new headquarters off of Cattleman Road in Sarasota. Members of the SWAT team and the K-9 unit will be there, and Animal Services will bring adoptable animals. It happens Saturday, December 8th from 10 until 2 o'clock.
An update now on a road closure in Manatee County, which could mean less congestion for drivers. Some good news for those of you who take 21st Avenue West. That street will reopen by the end of the week. The road was originally supposed to be closed through next week, but now only part of that road will be closed while the rest reopens. There will be detours that will be available.
A sailboat washes ashore on Casperson Beach in Venice. Beachgoers say the boat has been stranded on the sand there for about a week now. It's named Avenessa and is from Clearwater Beach. It's unclear how the boat became abandoned on Casperson Beach, but officials with Sarasota County say they're working with a company now to remove it. But rough seas and the size of the vessel have kept them from doing it so far. They're checking on the owner, see if they can find them, and of course they're going to have to pay for it if they can remove it.
A no swim advisory has been lifted in Manatee County. It is now safe to swim at Bayfront Park North on Anna Maria Island. That advisory was first issued late last week after bacteria from human waste was found in the water. Test results show that water is now safe to swim in.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, we have continuing coverage of the midterm election tonight in Sarasota and across this country. We'll take you to the polling places where people are getting their last-minute ballots in.
Teachers inspire our children and promote a lifetime of learning. So ABC7 and Gettle Automotive want to honor these chalkboard champions by giving them the chance to win $500. But we need your help. Go to mysuncoast.com/chalkboardchampions to nominate an outstanding teacher who's really making a difference. And each month we'll deliver $500 to one teacher in Sarasota County and one teacher in Manatee County. Go to mysuncoast.com and nominate your chalkboard champion today.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Blue 32! Blue 32! Hut hut! It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Gettle's got it.
This is a story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
What a sunset we just had a few minutes ago. Beautiful.
That's what I'm going to show right now. In fact, let's get to it. It's so spectacular out there. ABC7 Tower Cam showing. Just when there's some mid to high level clouds around, it always makes for a spectacular showing, and it certainly did tonight. This is from the ABC7 Tower Cam, and you can see, again, some clouds around, but no rain, and we had some photos already sent in, too. Getting them a little earlier now that sun sets earlier. Siesta, this is from Fred Seeger showing some cirrus clouds on the distance there. And when we have those cirrus clouds, they're composed of ice crystals. And you can see that's a sundog right there. There's the sun right there, and it creates a miniature sun sometimes, and that's what we're seeing here. The light is reflected and then refracted to create that. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it does when there's some cirrus clouds around, and those ice crystals are hanging in the atmosphere just the right way to do that. As far as our forecast goes tonight, we will see a few clouds around. It will stay warm, too. Low 70s by 11 o'clock tonight, and we're going to get to near record-breaking temperatures, I think, over the next couple of days. Now, there's a stationary front right here. It's not moving too far south. That's creating warm conditions for us. Actually, we're out ahead of it here, and the cooler air is behind it. And it looks as though we'll see that front fade away to our north. Eventually, though, there will be a cold front that will move through, and that'll happen on Saturday and Sunday. Cool us down just a little bit. We'll get back to more seasonal averages. Highs will be in the upper 70s to low 80s on Saturday and Sunday. No rain around here. Some showers down south of Lake Okeechobee. As far as our current temperatures go, it's still pretty warm in Orlando and Miami, and 83 now in Key West, 77 at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. The Gulf water temperature now at 79. Low 80s in the inland counties in Wauchula, Arcadia, as well as into Sebring. mid to upper 70s right near the coast. Well, we're not going to see much change on Wednesday. We'll see partly cloudy skies. High temperatures will warm into the mid 80s, some upper 80s inland. And that front just kind of fades out to the north of us. We will eventually see, though, a low pressure area develop. And this front will get closer to us, it looks like, on in through Saturday and Sunday. But until then, things stay pretty quiet here around town with a few showers down to our south. Well, those storms last night that caused all sorts of rough weather in Tennessee and also into southern Illinois, Indiana, and parts of Ohio is now shifted down south. There's the frontal boundary you see right there. Behind it is some cooler air, and this is moving west to east, and so it doesn't have a big push to the south, so we're not going to cool down with this front at all. As far as our current conditions go, we have clear skies and 77 degrees, and the dew point temperature still into the low 70s. That means we're going to have a warm and muggy night with a little bit of patchy fog. Our high today was a couple degrees above average at 83. Our 81 is the normal and 92 the record. Well, this is the GFS forecast model. I'm going to stop it here at 6:30, and we're showing the yellows and reds. That indicates temperatures typically right around 80 degrees for high temperatures. That's on Saturday. Sunday, right around 80 degrees, upper 70s, slightly cooler air, a few more clouds in. And then as we move through time, Monday still warm here, but Tuesday things start to change. You'll notice for high temperatures, we're going to get into the blues and greens there. And actually low temperatures on Wednesday morning could be into the mid 40s. I think maybe this is a little overdone. I think upper 40s to low 50s, though, not out of the question. And that happens on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And even the potential for some snow. This is the GFS forecast model. As far south as Georgia, you'll see that with the next storm system moving on through on into Tuesday and Wednesday, that snow gets awfully close to North Georgia. We'll see how it pans out, but right now it definitely looks like we're going to get chilly here on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. For boaters, not bad. It's going to be nice out there. Seas will be running 2 feet or less, and mostly smooth on bays and inland waters. The extended forecast then does call for warm temperatures right in through the next 4 or 5 days. We'll see temperatures getting back to more seasonal averages over the weekend. And then the cooling trend begins. Well, some showers on Monday and even lingering into Tuesday. High temperatures back in the 70s for those 2 days. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Well, the polls will be closing in about 45 minutes here on the Suncoast, and there has been a steady stream of voters all day long.
This midterm election certainly has voters motivated. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us from one of the polling locations now at First Presbyterian Church in Sarasota. Rick, how busy have the polls been today?
Yeah, Jacqueline and Scott, good evening. It's been very busy here most of the day. A lot of people are having their voices heard on this election day.
It's an amazing feeling to know that you are making change in this world.
This is Bashar Kawar's second election since moving to America a few years ago from Jordan. He and so many others here on the Suncoast hit the polls on this election day Tuesday because they say there's so much at stake.
A lot of the controversies happening and publicity of this election, so I think it's very important for every person to go out and vote and to try to make a change.
The supervisor of elections in both Sarasota and Manatee counties believe when all is said and done, they will have record numbers of voters in this election compared to the midterms 4 years ago. They say numbers could even hit close to 70%.
I hate to make an exact kind of turnout prediction. Didn't bring my crystal ball with me to the office this morning. Maybe I need a magic 8 ball, but I'd say higher than 60% today in this election.
We had a lot of early voters and a lot of vote by mail. So I would tell you probably half of the people who are going to vote in this race, they probably already voted.
Despite the strong numbers with early voting and mail-in ballots, lines were long at times at many of the locations. But most people we talked with say it was moving right along.
It was very exciting to see how many people are interested and how many people came out. There's usually 3 of us here, so I'm so glad to see this many people.
And you are starting to run out of time to get your vote in. The polls close at 7 o'clock tonight. Make sure you keep it here for all the results. Reporting live from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Rick, thank you. One of the most highly anticipated races in the country is happening here in Florida for the governor's race. Tallahassee's Democratic Mayor Andrew Gillum and his wife cast their ballots in the capital city this morning. After voting, Mayor Gillum told reporters he feels momentum is on his side.
Us winning tonight, I think, will send a message to Mr. Trump and Mr. DeSantis as well, that the politics of hatred and of division, of separation, that they've come to an end. At least in this election, that's what we're going to show. That people are going out and they're voting for something and not against.
As for Gillum's opponent, Republican Ron DeSantis also cast his ballot this morning near his home in Ponte Vedra Beach. A small crowd of supporters chanted, "We want Ron." He shook hands and thanked his supporters before he and his wife, holding their children, Madison and Mason, went into the polling place. DeSantis spoke last night about the issues he will take on if elected to be Florida's next governor.
For Northwest Florida, the choice couldn't be any starker. I'm an Iraq vet. I'm a proven conservative. I stand for the Second Amendment. I will not raise taxes. We'll continue Florida's economic success. I will stand by our veterans and the men and women in law enforcement.
Coming up in the next hour, we continue our coverage of the 2018 midterms. ABC7's Alan Cohn will cover the election from all angles, ranging from local to statewide races. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick will cover the governor's race, and Erica Jackson will let us know everything you need to know about the amendments that are on the ballot. We'll also take you live to both the Republican and Democratic watch parties happening in Sarasota tonight, and viewers have a chance to voice their opinions on today's election on our Facebook page.
And of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on any word we get from the polling places as they come into our newsroom, both on air and online as well.
We'll be right back.
Turnout across this country in the midterms, what we've learned already. The plot to blow up the New York City subway, the video never seen before, and the Amber Alert tonight, the 13-year-old abducted outside her home. Next.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Enjoy fine wine and great foods, all while supporting a great cause. It's the 17th annual Suncoast Food and Wine Fest, happening Saturday, November 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample great food from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds go to local charities and Rotary projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Investigate TV tackles the tough topics.
What happened to my life was awful.
When your health is compromised, we investigate.
They are really drug dealers in white coats.
Corporate greed exposed.
How do you trust them to run this program?
The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. We're your watchdog. Search Investigate TV on your Roku device. Download it now.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Hi, I'm Chef Alan, and watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up our most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix to sample, pick up the recipe card, and all the ingredients.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Tonight on ABC7 News at 7.
A lot of these campaigns have really the old-fashioned get out the vote, door-to-door campaigning, and that works. That does get people out. We might see a little bit of a bump.
The midterm elections are finally here. We have had debates, discussed the polls. What can we expect? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have up-to-the-minute results at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Looking ahead to this weekend, join us for the annual Suncoast Heart Walk this Saturday morning. That walk starts at 7:30 at J.D. Hamill Park in downtown Sarasota. That is a new location this year. Proceeds from that event will fund heart disease research. ABC7 is also a sponsor of the Heart Walk, and of course, Scott Dennis will once again serve as MC.
Along with Lulu from 92.1 CTQ. We're going to have fun time, and it's a cool new location, I think, in downtown Sarasota. Walk around there, and last year it was canceled because of Hurricane Irma. So it's great to have everybody be back.
This is not
no
gonna be
problems
a
this
problem.
weekend.
Now there's a front around, but it's not going to be much of a problem at all. A few showers. A lot of events taking place. We have the Crystal Classic on Siesta Key, begins Friday, goes through the weekend, and empty bowls Thursday and Friday too for Manatee Meals on Wheels Plus. That'll be taking place at the Renaissance on 9th on Thursday, and then Lakewood Ranch on Friday from 10 to 1.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 7 and 11. Have a good night.